focus? What will be the focus for the future of MLGBA as a co-chair?
As a co-chair, well, both Jane and I, this is entering into our second year. What we are definitely wanting to do within this next year is really focus on the LGBT community. We've had a lot of positive interactions, I think, with other organizations, bar associations, etc., on coalitions, and we will continue to build coalitions in other areas. But we're really focusing this year on our own LGBT community. We're wanting to obviously pass the trans bill. We're wanting to frankly we're reevaluating our own name and mission in that respect. We're wanting to really be inclusive of the transgender community within our bar, and we've not come up with a final name yet, but it is in discussion, as you know, and that will likely be announced by whatever name change there would be. Will not likely be announced by the time of our annual dinner.
Oh, that's good. That would be nice. I'm interested to know what the new name will be. It's always good to be inclusive, I think.
Right.
But you've been watching MLGBA Legal Lines. Our number here is 617-708-3290. Again, 617-708-3290. I'm talking with David Epley, co-chair of MLGBA. I invite you to give us a call if you have any questions regarding MLGBA or legal issues, pending legal issues in general. Thank you. So you mentioned this House bill a couple of times, and we've had people on the program talk about that. It's really almost astonishing that we have marriage in this state, and yet we do not have discrimination laws protecting transgender people in employment. I mean, it's just,
right.
It's amazing, and so that's what that bill relates to?
That's what that bill relates to. It also has to do with public accommodations as well. It's employment, it's public accommodations. You know, people shouldn't be discriminated against based upon who they are, and that's essentially the tenet behind the legislation. It has broad support. The vast majority of both senators and representatives are in support. So right now it's within the Judiciary Committee, is my understanding. That tends to be a fairly conservative committee, and so that's part of the problem that needs to actually come out of the committee for it to be voted on and passed. Mm-hmm. And Governor Patrick has already indicated that he's in support of that. Attorney General Coakley's in support of it. So the will is there. That's not the issue, and the support is there. There just needs to be more pressure or an education that can be brought to bear on the legislators that are on the legislative committee. I mean, on the Judiciary Committee. Exactly.
It's our legislative committee that's
exactly.
that's educating the Judiciary Committee.
You heard me start saying the word "strike that," which is a lawyer thing. So
that's and we will continue to do that.
We will.
Great. Any other issues pending that you see for the future of the LGBT community in the Commonwealth?
Within the Commonwealth, the continuation of marriage. I mean, obviously we've fought and won and maintained the gains that we've made. But obviously that doesn't go across state lines necessarily. I mean, a lot of our brother and sister New England states have crossed that line, but we still don't have the federal issues. So that's going to be something that we will look forward in trying to educate our own members and the overall community. But that continues to be a major issue.
And we continue to work with other state bar associations in these other states to assist them in going forward.
Absolutely. They look to, the other bar associations look to Massachusetts, among others, but they look to Massachusetts for examples of, what worked. Yeah. What worked in New England, what worked in Massachusetts, and so, or Iowa, what worked in Iowa. And so they can go back to their home states and they can hopefully move forward in moving forward either legislation or court cases, and frankly, representing their clients who are LGBT in those states that don't have marriage, and helping them through the difficulties of not having those legal protections.
So, very, very busy agenda.
It is.
A lot going on. I do want to take a couple of moments to talk about Senator Kennedy, the late Senator Kennedy. We obviously lost, I think it's without a doubt, one of the strongest advocates we have, if not the strongest advocate we've had in this community, going way back.
Right.
I mean, he's one of the 14 senators that voted against DOMA, which you just talked about. Early supporter and vigorous supporter of the AIDS funding.
Right.
I think more recently, getting rid of the 1913 law. He actually was helping GLAD out with convincing the state legislature to get rid of that. I cannot imagine a more tireless, vigorous advocate than he was, and what a loss.
It is, Tim. I mean, you know, there are some good candidates who are up for his seat, but Ted Kennedy has been an institution for the nation, not just Massachusetts, but has been an institution for the nation, and his presence, his ability to twist arms of folks who are on the other side of the aisle and getting them to help out with whether it's health care, frankly, or the Ryan White HIV bill from the late 80s, early 90s.
Oh, yeah.
He worked with Orrin Hatch on that. So, you know, someone like that is going to be very sorely missed in this Congress and many Congresses to come. Whoever is going to attempt to fill his shoes is going to have a really hard time.
Yeah.
A really hard time. And the gay community specifically lost a tremendous ally.
Yes, and it's just wonderful that he was here for us throughout his career. I mean, just amazing. But thank you, David. Appreciate you coming on our show. You've been watching MLGBA Legal Lines. Legal Lines is brought to you the third Wednesday of every month live at 4 o'clock. My name is Tim Lynch. I am your host on Legal Lines. Wishing you a good day. Take care. Thanks, David.